Havoc, Bandaloon, Hard Farm, Cedasaur, Stellar,
from the Titan's pride. In the midst of chaos, we stand tall. With nature's forces, we'll conquer them all. We are the Elestrals, guardians of the land.
YouTube, Stellar Christoph here for another Elestrals video. And today's the day we've been waiting for months. It's Moonrise, baby. We're going to be opening ourselves a Moonrise booster box today. Super excited. Just got this stuff from the LGS, so we are ready. I'm not even going to hesitate. We're jumping right for this. First of all, I love this box. Posthumous is sick. I still haven't got clarification. I need to ask, or I need to look at the lore. But the heart that's right there. Now there is a little bit hollow right there, but you can see it more clearly right there. Every art of Posthumous has a heart, it's a hollow heart. So I don't know exactly what the lore would be there, but it's still super sick. The traditional hollow pattern all around the box is really cool. We got our boy Outloon here. That is the Daybreak art, so I'm kind of surprised to see that there. I think that's a Daybreak art. But same thing, plenty of hollows. Let's flip it over. We got ourselves the full art Boat Clips, which actually is right there, I believe. Shooting for that, you see Ant Titan right here, you see Gloombat, and you see a full art Artemis. And then showing us the Stellar already. Stellar Star of it, guys. That's what we want. The mystifying goddess of the hunt, Artemis, suppressing opposing Elestrals, leaving them helpless while she wields her bow to nexus and attack. Discovering the eclipsing power of Moon with all new Lunar Phase cards, and for the first time ever, steal your opponent's cards with the help of Bandaloon, Drat King, and Carry Off. When the sun sets, powerful new enemies like Posthumous and Boat Clips prepare to strike. Featuring over 100 new cards, uncover the mysteries of the night in Elestrals Moonrise. Super excited about that. And then you got the packs right here, so shout out to Faboria, Stellar Carry Off, that's the Stellar right there. But you got Posthumous, Faborix, Boat Clips, and Carry Off. Let's open it, guys. So, like we've been doing lately for our booster box openings, I will not show the box topper until last. We want to try to get that hype. Hopefully, we can be the first person to pull a full art Stellar in this set. So we'll leave that right here. Let's zoom out just a little bit for you guys. We will need, what is it? 10 slots for these cards. 10 different piles. So hopefully they don't release any more elements so we can just have enough room on screen for us to do this. If you guys are new, don't forget, subscribe, comment, and like the video, guys. Personally cannot wait. This is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I think my favorite card I'm looking forward to, and it's not even a really rare card, is Helios's Slumber. Lets you pick one Elestral from Underworld and put it on the top of your deck. Sonicore. My first thought will always be Sonicore in that scenario. Flormine right off the bat. So we got Flormine. We got ourselves a little Arbud. If you guys did Shadow Stars Sagittarius, you should already have a version of Arbud. Clovey. Little cold boy stuck in the snow. Cactibrol. So you guys will eventually see a deck profile for a Sandstorm deck. Cactibrol's sick, guys. When an opponent activates a counter, you can disenchant Earth off this Cactibrol in order to negate the rune. When a player casts Sandstorm, you can special ascend this Cactibrol to Cactibrum from your hand or deck. He blocks counter runes. If you have an Earth Nexus deck, even if you're not going to use the secondary effect to special ascend, or special cast, special ascend, sorry, this guy's going to be sick in Earth Nexus. He's going to block counter runes. So not only do we have Equal Links that will destroy face downs, but if you try to counter it, you can use Cactibrol to block it. Keep Nexusing it to every single turn. It's freaking nuts. Cinder. Shout out to Soren Plays. He is super excited for this combo for Cinder and Salashade. But the mill deck will finally be realized in this set. Bellaby. So this one's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to this. Fire Wind combos. So that's going to be a new kind of deck that we see. Fire Wind. The Fire Wind Chant Elestrals get +1 attack. you can target a fire or wind enchanted Elestral and give it the effect. This Elestral is unaffected by counter runes until the next turn. Key phrase: if it's thunder or wind enchanted, it does not have to be that type of Elestral. So keep that in mind. And then unaffected by counter runes until next turn. So the rest of your turn, they're blocked. Like Helios is terrorized, boom, use the LB instead. There's Cactobrum. This is the Ascension of our Cactobrol. It can't be targeted by invoke runes, that's the main one. And then when it receives one or more earth, you can special cast a Cactobrol from your underworld. So that's kind of cool. Use this guy's effect, then Nexus to this guy, bring it back. Boisterous. You guys only, before you can only get this in starter decks, and then for Capricorn, such or Shadowsource Capricorn, you got it, and now it's officially a printed card in a set. Electro Knight, so our Thundercasters are going to be pretty happy about this one. Another Nexus one, so Nexus either Thunder or Lunar. When this Electro Knight receives one or more Thunder, you can special cast Electrify from your hand or deck. When you activate Electrify's effect, you can draw a card. So when it says receive a Thunder, that's on cast. If it's a Lunar Elestral and you ascend it with a Thunder Spirit, that also counts for that combo. And the rare is going to be Night Venom. 6/6, you can discard Dense Fog in order to target and destroy up to 2 cards, which is awesome, clear the board. You only use that effect once per turn though, so just keep that in mind. When you have at least 2 Dense Fogs in your underworld, this Night Venom cannot be targeted by your opponent's invoke runes. So 6/6 body, super strong, and then not to mention, if you only have 2 Dense Fogs in underworld, can't be targeted by invoke runes, so that's Restings, that is EQ, it is a 6 defense, but it's Cryoblast. Feels great. Like, that feels great. Especially because there are cards, I can't think of it right now, Pandolence I think the name is, that you can grab a counter rune from Underworld and place it face down. So again, go ahead, you can still use Dense Fog, you just have to wait for that perfect scenario. Or even Tornado. I don't know if Tornado is an opponent's rune or yours, but if it's yours, you can also play Dense Fog with Pandolence's effect, Tornado it back to your hand, discard to destroy. Just something to think about. I need to look into that, make sure that's actually a combo to use though. I'd say chase cards today, we are wanting Full Heart Forgorix, Sick, the Tsunami, and the Shield. And Ambrosia. We want that Ambrosia. There's a Leviathan to start off. Luxomare. So this one's going to be kind of cool. When your opponent takes control of this Luxomare, you can special cast an Airsdale from your hand or deck. There's a new card, Cunning Offer, I believe it's called. It's basically a Trojan horse. So I can go ahead and give this guy to my opponent, and then I can go ahead and ascend Airsdale from my hand or deck. So that's really cool. First, Lunaphase. Lunaphase first quarter. Counter rune. Draw a card. You may discard a Lunaphase to return Voldusk, Umbra, or Eclipse from your underworld to your hand. And another one. This one is Waning Gibbous. This is the invoke rune. Shuffle a Lunaphase, Volumbra, or Volcrypt from your hand or underworld into your deck in order to search your deck for Voldusk and add it to your hand. There's another one. Is this something we're going to see frequently? Search your deck for up to 2 Lunaphase and send them to your underworld. And mind you, all the Lunaphases are titles, by the way. None of them, as far as I know, none of them specify. When a Lunaphase is discarded by another Lunaphase, you can return Lunar from your underworld to your spirit deck. So that's kind of cool. Go ahead and search your deck, toss into underworld, and then also heal. That works out. Temple of the Moon. All for Temple of the Moon. You got Phasmacor off in the distance. God, I can't wait to build decks with these cards. And Helios of Slumber. I told you that's my chase card, guys. Target Celestial in Underworld and put it to the top of your deck. So again, you destroy my Celestlio, top of the deck. You destroy my Sonicor, top of the deck. You destroy my Galaxy, top of the deck. So another cool way to think about this too, this is for your one-offs, guys. This is for your Arcolith. This is for your Lavalith, Equalinx, Elechic. So many uses for this card for all your one-drops now. Double Gator. This is my boy. 5 attack, 4 defense. Elestrals that are non-lunar or solar enchanted get -1 attack for each lunar enchanting this Double Gator. So immediately, All Elestrals on field that aren't Lunar or Solar get -2 just by this guy's effect. When this Doublegator receives one or more of those spirits in a Nexus, you can special send it to Forgorks from your hand or deck. So again, with this kind of type of deck, you're going to want Nexusing going on. You're going to want Alter Your Stars. I think the Nexus for Lunar is Comalis, Circle of the Sky, whatever. But you want something to Nexus so you can go ahead and special cast Forgorks. We got Theraheart. When a player activates a counter rune, you can disenchant 2 Lunar from your Artemis in order to negate that rune, then special send Theraheart into Posthumous from your hand or deck. So right away, that's really cool about this is that it's when a player activates. It doesn't have to be your opponent. So I can go ahead, play this guy, and then go ahead and immediately play Gorgon's Gaze, Shield of Achilles, whatever. It's going to negate it, so maybe not. Or not Shield of Achilles, that's a bad example, Tsunami. But I can play Theraheart, play Tsunami, and then go ahead and special, negate it and special cast. You don't want to use it on your good ones, but if you got like a 1-drop, like Tsunami, if you're going to set yourself up, again, if you have Artemis out in the field and you have posture moves, it's unaffected by counter runes. So at that point, you just want to try to find a way to protect it. Hopefully they already used EQ or Restings or something during that match. And Hollow Carry-Off is the first one. So right off the bat, this is very dark. I don't even mean that by like the graveyard behind it. It's just a very dark card to look at. 5 attack, 3 defense. When your carry on is destroyed in battle, you can special cast this carry off from your hand. So it has to be in your hand. You can expend 2 Lunar in order to target opponent's Celestial and take control of it until the end phase. So the way I look at this card is you want to use it on your turn. Sorry guys. You want to use it on your turn. Unless your opponent's got Pentair or something out and they destroyed your carry-on, then you go ahead and bring this guy out and then take control of Pentair so they can't attack over you. But this is definitely more of an aggro card. You want to wait for your turn to use it. I will keep the Hollow separate down here just so easier for sorting later on. The first Hollow is a carry-off. I'm all for that. And there's Illuminate, he's a fun guy. Snark. I know everyone's so excited about this card. 3/3, so stats are okay. But when you cast this Snark, you can search your deck for a card with enchantment cost Water Lunar and add it to your hand. So that's its Ascension Joblin, that's Drag King, that's Rockin' a Hard Place. Tsunami High Tide's a new card, so that's a number of cards you're going to search, use it to search for. Really set yourself up. Starbit. Shout out to Coastal if that Starbit was revealed this entire time and no one even noticed. It's a 1/1, so very, very weak. This Starbit gets +2 attack for each water enchanting, so already by itself it's bumping up to a 3. You can Nexus to water, so the rest of this effect, I'll go through it, but literally turn 1 you can go ahead and use this effect and start taking control. You can Nexus to water. When the Starbit has 7 more attack during the main phase, you must either destroy it or special send it to Starbit Supernova from your hand or deck. So right away it's the same effect as Cryling once it reaches certain attack points. So it's basically the second you have 3 spirits on this, you're going to go ahead and ascend. Or yeah, you have to. It's still Ascension, but you're going to go ahead and you get Starbit Supernova. Supernova is the title. It's a 7 attack, 2 defense. Cannot be normal cast. It has to be special cast. So using this guy's effect, trying to discard it, Rise of the Depths, you can use Foamy. There's a number of combos for that as well. There's Electrify. You can disenchant Thunder from this Electrify in order to search your deck for a 1-spirit Thunder Celestial and add it to your hand. This is finally, you have an Astro Rabbit Searcher, you have an Elechick Searcher, you have a Jolton Searcher. Thunder decks in general, Thunder's going to be taken back, man. Thunder's going to take control. February 1st, Zeus is back to 3 per deck. Electrify is going to make that pop off. Now first, Wind Celestial, Windjin. 3 attack, 1 defense. When this Windjin receives 1 or more wind, you can name a card, then foretell 3. If 1 or more of those cards with that name are foretold this way, you may add 1 to your hand and special send this Windjin to Tornado Jin from your hand or deck. So, I'm going to give you a straight up combo right now. Ready? You destroy whatever by Luxemere, okay? I'm going to go ahead. This is a counter rune, so I would wait until you're completely ready. But go ahead, draw your turn. play Helios of Slumber, grab my Luxemare, put it face down top of my deck, use Winjin's ability. So not only will I get Luxemare back, but then I can ascend into Tornadojin. There's Carrion. This is Carrion's baby form. 3/3. When this Carrion is destroyed in battle, you can target the Elestral that destroyed it and take control of the Elestral until the end phase. The other combo you can do with this, guys, is when you take control of that opponent's Elestral, if you have Gorgon's Gaze down, if you have Tsunami, whatever counter rune you have, and it's their turn, play that counter rune using spears off that Elestral. Now, I say Tsunami, for instance, but say they have a Bellowbee out and I take control of that Bellowbee, I can play Tsunami Misenchanted with Fire. Destroys my opponent's Elestral. And then now next turn I can go ahead, I have a clean sweep to do whatever I want to do. Titanic Strike. 2 attack, 4 defense. When a player casts Thunderstorm, you can expend Thunder in order to target and destroy an Elestral. So again, it's going to cost you an additional Spirit, but you're going to pop off. You're going to go ahead, Thunderstorm destroys the back row, and now with Titanic Strike, I'm going to destroy something in the front row too. Aspral. So right off the bat, before I even continue, the Aspral line is probably a line I will personally not use because the self-mill option, I can't even comprehend it. Like, I'm being dead serious with you guys, I can't even comprehend that kind of a deck. And I just noticed that this guy's going to have to go right over here. That way we have room for our Frost Elestrals. Anyway, he is a 7 attack, 4 defense, cost 2 Frost. When this Aspral is sent from your deck to the Underworld, so that's a self-milling option. Avalanche does it, but the Pre-Ascension does as well. When this Aspral is sent from your deck to the Underworld, you can special ascend your Snowlet to it, so Snowlet's the baby form. You can expend Frost in order to send the top 4 cards of your deck to the Underworld. Dracoray. So, super excited for this one. This is Dracodoodle's Nexus form. So, 7 attack, 3 defense, so very good stats. Lunar Fire, which is really cool. When you cast this Dracoray, you may return up to 3 Solar Spirits from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. That's amazing to me. Like, that's absolutely insane. You're falling behind a little bit in the match, somehow you get Dracoray out, boom, you're healing immediately. During your draw phase, you may expend fire in order to special send this Dracoray to Dragalus from your hand or deck. Dragalus, I can't remember the ability off the top of my head, but it's a 2 solar, 1 fire, 13 attack, 5 defense, something like that, 4 or 5 defense. Defense is terrible, don't get me wrong, but I believe it has a killer ability. And the rare is going to be Pulveror. This Pulveror in your hand can special ascend from your Lunar Elestral if you disenchant Lunar from your field. So again, right off the bat, I can go ahead and cast a Weak Boy, whatever, say I want to use, say Navi. Navi actually is a perfect example for this. Play Navi in attack mode. Navi's effect, when it receives a Lunar, all non-Lunar Soul Elestrals get -2 attack. Go ahead and use Pulveror's effect to special ascend it out. Now all my opponent's Elestrals are weaker, Pulveror can come out and start knocking people out. I'm giving all the tech today, guys. All the tech. The second it comes to mind, we're going to be talking about it. I cannot wait to start building decks with these cards. By Pyro this time. Lunar Phase, Waning Gibbous. Invoke, shuffle a Lunar Phase, Volumber, or Volclipse from your hand or Underworld to your deck in order to search your deck for Voldusk. Did we already see that card? We've probably already seen this card. Final Quarter. This is an Invoke. Search your deck for 2. Yep, we already wanted this one too. Temple of the Moon. No Stern Unturned. So, this is a card to talk about. Costs you 2 Earth, so expensive. Search your deck for a, I think it's Golem. Don't get me, I'm not 100% sure. But search your deck for this type of Elestral and add it to your hand. So, all your lifts are that icon. So is your Vesipatuga and your Krakatuga. Your main burn Elestrals now have a search function. Magnetic Force Field. So that is a new Elestral on there as well. Magnaros, we will see that hopefully later on. But it's a counter rune, 1 cost Thunder. This Magnetic Force Field can only be played when an opponent activates a non-counter effect that causes you to expend spirits. So when they say that, they're thinking Eruption, they're thinking Toxiswarm, Toxers, no. I'm butchering it. Toxion, there we go. Oof. to expend spirits, negate the effect, and that opponent must expend 2 spirits. So again, you're going to play Toxic Storm, try to burn me for 1. I'm going to counter with the Magnetic Force Field. Now instead of me taking 1, you're actually taking 2. There's another Titanic Strike. Actually, I just noticed this guy in the wrong pile. Another Astral, Draco Ray, into Blizztrix. Full art Blizztrix already. We really didn't shuffle those packs at all, did we? So I wonder if that means the Spirit's going to be next. So this is the Ascension of Astral. When this Blizztrix is sent from your deck to the Underworld, you can special ascend your Astral to it. You can return 3 Elestrals from your Underworld to the bottom of your deck to destroy a card. So that's kind of cool for the self-milling aspect. And to a degree, unlimited deck. Unlimited draws. You just have to make sure you're just somehow getting rid of those Elestrals. Even if you're crashing into your opponent, if you're keep playing Avalanche, whatever, but semi-limitless draws, technically, because you're just going to keep returning Elestrals from your Underworld to your deck. Again, the self-mill thing it's going to be hard for me to play that card. But damn, only the second hollow in the box, and it was our full art. Question is, what spirit we gonna get? I'm shooting for Leviathan. Leviathan's my boy. Speaking of Leviathan, there's our boy Navi. Fawnlet. So Fawnlet is a Divine Searcher only for Artemis. Voldusk. So the Lunar Phase deck is like one of the highlights of this set. There's 8 Lunar Phases. Voldusk in its Ascension line is the center of it. But it's a 1 attack, 5 defense, so very strong defense. When you cast a Lunar Phase, you can draw a card or return a Lunar Spirit from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. This effect can be activated twice each turn. So that's really cool. So, because you have, again, 8 different Lunar Phases, counters, and invokes. So that's kind of cool that you can have this guy in defense and then twice a turn either heal or you can go ahead and draw and try to set yourself up. Gloombat. So we saw this already with Shattered Stars Lunar, but you can special cast this from your hand with Lunar if your opponent has at least 2 face-down runes. Disenchant Lunar from this Gloombat in order to target and destroy a rune. So you're trying to pop the back row. You can even go ahead and your Zeus, Demeter, whatever your opponent has on field. Toxierie. This is Toxic Swarm and Toxion's Nexus Swarm. So the difference between this guy and those two, they are 4 attack with 2 defense, 1 defense. This is flipped. So it's a 2 attack, 4 defense. When you cast this Toxierie, you can search your deck for a Dense Fog and add to your hand. Suppressed Elestrals get -2, -2. So that's really cool, and there's so many suppression cards now, especially with the set coming out with Artemis. You have Cockadoodle's one of them, and then you also have Dense Fog that's listed on here as well, Gorgon's Gaze. So whenever you play those cards, adding with Toxierie, you're going to also cause your opponent to get weaker. Bow of Artemis. This is going to be your artifact for the set. It's only costing you 1 Lunar, so that's not too bad. The Empowered Elestral deals piercing damage. Piercing damage is if an Elestral's in defense. For instance, let's use this Blizztrix as an example in Belleby. Belleby's in defense, so normally you wouldn't take any damage in that battle. But because it has piercing, since this has at least 2 spirits and that has 1, my opponent's going to lose 2 spirits in that exchange. Secondary effect. So most of the artifacts, I should say, have a secondary effect if they're Divines on field. So when the Empowered Elestral declares an attack, you can Nexus Lunar from your Artemis to the Empowered Elestral. So again, dealing more piercing damage. Lunar Phase Waxing Gibbous. Counter rune. Target a Lunar Elestral and change its position. You may expend Lunar and discard Lunar Phase. If you do, target Elestral cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. So that's not too bad. Can't be destroyed by Earthquake or West End Aurora, so that's not bad. There's a Waning Crescent and Fortune. This guy has actually been revealed since Elestriad Season 1 in the short, like the video montage to start the episodes. 1 attack, 1 defense, fire. Fire finally has a healer, guys. When this Torchin declares an attack, you can return Fire Spirits from your Underworld to your Spirit deck, up to the number of Enchanting Fire Spirits on the field. So again, you have Torchin out, you have Hammer of Hephaestus, and you have Volcanic Forge. That's going to be 4 spirits right there. You'll heal 4 that turn. Very good, I think, for Fire Nexus. Hopefully, we'll see. I can't wait to see what people do with it. I'm just happy that Fire finally has a Searcher. After all this time, 4 sets later, we finally have a healer for Fire. Alright, let's continue. And we got ourselves a Zapper, little Thunder Buddy. Havocup's really cool because its position can't be changed by card effects. So Eddie doesn't work against it, Tsunami won't work against it, etc. Drekid, we've seen Drekking since Shadow Stars. We're super happy about this guy. He's got like a little vampire mystique going on. Porky Wraith. This one's a little interesting one. 2 attack, 2 defense, so stats aren't the best. When this Porky Wraith enters battle with an Elestral, you can give the Elestral -2 attack for each Lunar enchanting this Porky Wraith until the end phase. So it says when it enters battle, it doesn't matter who starts the battle. It doesn't matter how many times a turn that Elestral battles. So immediately when this guy goes into battle, you're going to give your opponent -2 for the 1 spirit. If you can Nexus or if you can ascend, say, your Drag Kid into this just to get the extra spirit, then it's going to be -4, so on and so forth. There's our Arbud, Klobi, Tsunami High Tide. So this is one Schnark searches as well. It is an Invoke, it is 1 Water and 1 Lunar. Change the position of the 2 Elestrals. You may enchant Lunar or Lunar or Water from your Underworld to your field. So that's kind of cool. Go ahead and bring a spirit back afterwards. If you do notice, it does not talk about if it's Water enchanted. If it's not, it's any Elestrals on field. You can change the battle position. Aurora Borealis. Frost is going to love this card. I definitely see at least 2 copies of this in most Frost deck going forward. Cost you 1. To start off with that, cost you 1. Hear me out. Discard a card in order to enchant up to 1 Frost from your Underworld to your field. So, think about Catarant, okay? I'm going to play Aurora Borealis. I'm going to ditch Asprawl, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take 1 Frost Spirit from Underworld, place it on field. I place it on Catarant, I immediately will heal 2 Frost because Catarant's receive effect. Secondary effect on this card. And return up to 1 Frost from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. So this is going to cost you 1, but its full effect will heal you 1, and then place 1 on board from Underworld. So use this again 2 or 3 times in a match. Use this with cards that have receive effect. Like I said, you have yourselves Catarant to heal extra. You can also do that with, say, your Chivalror's a really good combo to use that with, especially with Mountains of Boreas. The attack skyrockets, and then also with Mountains of Boreas on field, it's blocked by, I believe, Invoke runes or all runes. So this is just another way to boost all your Elestrals up. Cunning Offer, this is the one that we talked about earlier. It is an Invoke that only costs you 1 solar to play. Until the end phase, your opponent takes control of a target Elestral on your field. So it would be the Arisdale, for instance. Sorry guys. And that Elestral gains the effect when this Elestral is destroyed in battle, you must expend 3 spirits. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the combo of our little guy that we had right here. Oh, Luxemere, sorry, not Arisdale. Or Arismere. What did I say? Luxemere, sorry guys. When your opponent takes control of this Luxemere, you may special cast an Arisdale from your hand or deck. So this is going to be the combo you're going to use right here. Play Luxemere, use Cunning Offer, give it to my opponent. I'm going to special cast the big boy, destroy this, and then my opponent is going to lose 3 spirits. And Gardon's the rare for this one. Your full art Shield of Achilles is going to have this guy on the artwork. 3 attack, 8 defense, so that defense is ridiculous. Your Elestrals get +2 defense, so immediately by its own effect, he's jumping up to a 10 defense. When your opponent activates an effect that targets 1 or more runes, you can expend 2 solar in order to negate that effect. So, Hurricane's a card that's coming out in this set that you can block it with. And their effect, so that also works against Equalings. It doesn't say a rune or Elestral effects, it just says card effects. So you're blocking everything at that point. Alright, we got ourselves a Tyratlus, a Voldusk, Gloombat, Toxiri, Havocup, Drakid, Titanostrike, Astral, Drake Array into Waxing Crescent. Cost you 2 Lunar. Target a Lunar Enchanted Celestial and give it +1 attack until the end phase for each Lunar phase in all Underworlds. So again, if there's a total of 5, give my guy +5. That's actually really good. Because the whole Voclip deck is all about getting, you need at least 8 Lunar phases in Underworld. So you could technically do that. Get 8 in Underworld, give your Celestial +8. There's a Vipira, Porky Wraith, Arbud, Colobi. I noticed they are always together. Cactivrol, Cinder, Bow of Artemis. This is Waxing Gibbous, Waning Crescent, into Spoiled Fruit. This is going to be a card that's going to disrupt some people, especially those water stall decks or the healing decks, heal stall deck. This Spoiled Fruit can only be played when the opponent activates a card effect that returns 1 or more spirits from the Underworld to the spirit deck. Negate the effect and destroy that card. So you're talking about Jotagua, Jotora, you're talking about Ambrosia. So many different cards. And it only costs you 1 spirit to use too. But just be prepared, you're going to use it against your opponent, most likely they're going to have it against you as well. Oh, this is going to be the Hollow Spirit. That's what happens. That's the rare. This is Fulgorix. This is a big boy. This is what Dan's #1 card going forward. 10 attack, 6 defense, so decent stats. 2 Lunar, 1 Wind. Elestrals that are not Lunar or Solar Enchanted get -5 attack. Just flat out -5 attack. So again, you're going to have Pantera out. Awesome. Pantera and this guy are going to crash. They're both going to be at 10 at that point. You can Nexus, Wind, or Lunar. It's also a Nexus. When this Fulgorix receives 1 or more Lunar or Wind in a Nexus, you can target an opponent's card and put it to the bottom of their deck. Summon this guy, Nexus to it, Pantera, bottom of the deck. Pantera's gone for most likely the entire game. There's a Belleby, Schnark, Starvit, Electrifly, Armadon. So this is Gardon's baby form, free ascension. 1 attack, 6 defense. So that's freaking massive. 6 defense. There's only one other 1-cost Celestial, and that's Mutation. Same stats as Mutation, by the way. When this Armadon changes position, an opponent must expend 1 spirit. So, oh man, already there's multiple ways to do this. Tsunami, have an attack mode. Tsunami, go ahead, burn 1. Tsunami High Tide, go ahead and burn 1. Mudlet, Eddy, so on and so forth. And just by its own, just by turning him into attack and defense mode, burn my opponent. I cannot wait to build a burn deck with this. It's gonna be, that deck's gonna be ridiculous. Speaking of High Tide, Aurora Borealis, Cunning Offer into Flurmine. Not the Leviathan we wanted, but we'll take it. He's a happy boy. And here's my thing. So it's a Frost Spirit, right? At night. So since it's colder, does that mean he's happier? And actually, kind of ironic, the full art was Frost too, so that's kind of cool. Got those together. If you guys have stayed in the video this long, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not. Comment the video. Tell me your favorite card in this set, the one you're looking forward to most. And make sure you like the video. Rattless, there's Snowlet. So this is the baby form of the ones that we already saw. 4 attack, 2 defense. When the Snowlet receives 1 or more Frost, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the Underworld. I can also see this going in more Frost. More Frost is all about ditching cards into the Underworld as well. Cockeray. This is Cockadoodle, I believe it is. This is the Nexus form. 4 attack, 1 defense. So the 1 defense sucks. It is Cryoblast range, but it is what it is. This Cockeray cannot be suppressed. When you activate First Light, you can special ascend this Cockeray to Drake Array from your hand or deck. So let's talk about that for a second. Go ahead. You're going to play First Light. Okay, so if it's going to go on the chain, I believe you would use this effect first to search, and then you use First Light to put a card on top of your deck. Whatever combo you want to use, First Light has to be an Celestial though. So you could use Cockeray's effect, ascend into Drake Array, search for Dragalis, and put it in your hand. Or say your opponent's doing some shenanigans, you can go ahead and just get Celestial right after that. You can get Soul Stalks, whatever Soul Celestial. You can get Gardon for all you want. You know what I mean? Gardon having that 10 defense, you know, just so you have something ready for your opponent. so many different combos. And the fact that it can't be suppressed is really good too. So you know when you activate First Light, this guy is ascending. Armadon, Luxamare, Final Quarter, Cactobrum, Boisterous, Electronite into Morfrost Scorpio. This is the newest of the Morfrost. We know for a fact we're getting at least one more, and that's the Chimera looking form of the fan art, the fan contest, I should say. But 2 attack, 2 defense, which is typical for the Morfrost. They all are usually weaker stats. The effect is what's nuts though. When you cast this Morfrost, you can discard a Morfrost in order to target an opponent's Celestial and set its base defense to 0 until the end phase. Before we even finish that effect, play Morfrost, change Astrabbit to 0 defense, Cryoblast. Go ahead and change Penterra's defense from 8 to 0, Cryoblast. To me, that's absolutely insane. The secondary effect making sure you're destroying the Elestral. During this turn's end phase, you can expend 2 Frost in order to destroy that Elestral. Again, say it's Penterra in attack mode, right? Go ahead and play Scorpio, lower the defense to 0. Just end your turn right there, toss 2 to destroy it. Like, to me, that's absolutely insane. Does not matter if it's a Frost, doesn't matter what it is, it's just pure destruction at that point. Costs you 3 spirits that entire turn, but again, if you're going after a 2 or 3 body, it makes sense. Illuminate. We got ourselves Arbud, Calobi, Cactobril, Cinder, Bellaby, Volumbra. So we have not seen Volumbra yet. You can discard a Lunar Phase during your main phase in order to special send your Voldusk into Volumbra from your hand. When you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon, you can special send this Volumbra into Volclipse from your hand or deck. Full Moon's a counter rune. This is not the only Elestral that uses Full Moon. I believe it's Werepup and Like a Void also have to use that effect for a reason. But again, discarding your card to go ahead and special send this, and then playing Full Moon immediately after if you want to, go ahead and get your big boy out immediately. We got Hippossum. 1/1, 1 cost Lunar. When this Hippossum is destroyed, you can special cast it from your Underworld in attack position, Misenchanted. So bring it back at least once. Which honestly works really well. If say you can put this in your Trekking deck, go ahead, play it. They're going to destroy it, Misenchanted with water. Next turn, Trekking. Werepup. When you normal cast this Werepup, you can search your deck for a Lunar Phase and add it to your hand. When you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon, you can special send this Werepup into Like a Void from your hand or deck. 3/2, and I actually really like the background. It's like a mountain range behind it. It's actually really cool. And then the rare is Magnaros. So I did call it that we were going to go ahead and pull this guy. I just noticed that all of these guys are in the wrong pile. Magnaros. Thunder finally has a decent Nexus Celestial again. Rip Sparkle. 2 attack, 4 defense, so it's the same stats as Avaros. You can Nexus up to 2 Thunder. When you do, you can foretell cards equal to the number of Thunder Enchanted cards on your field, and add 1 Thunder Invoke rune foretold this way to your hand. So as of right now, the only real Thunder Invoke runes are Thunderstorm, which pops a back row, and Race to the Top needs to have Mount Olympus on field, but you can go ahead and pop an Elestral, as long as your defense is higher than theirs. That's not bad, especially foretelling. Even if you don't see the card you need, able to set yourself up over the next couple of turns really does help out. Alright, we got ourselves an Aloom. We got a Snark. We got a Starbit. Electrifly. Winjin. Carrion. Bandaloon. 3/1. When you can expend 2 Lunar in order to take control of the opponent's face down rune. So the cool thing about this, depending on what it is, it's going to help you. Say they're bluffing with Ambrosia or Earthquake, Restings, whatever. You can go ahead and play those cards. I'm also looking at it as the counter rune lineup. Obviously, it wouldn't help with PTA or Shield, but if it's a Gorgons or a Tsunami, just go ahead and play it. Even if you're not going to use its full effect or you're going to misenchant it, just that way your opponent has 1 less card to use against you. Aardvarm, Cedasaur. So Cedasaur is kind of an interesting one because we're not going to see its full capacity until a future set. So it's a 4 attack, 6 defense, it's Earth and Frost. When the Cetasaur is sent from your deck to the underworld, so again, that you're going to use that with the Blitztrix, you're going to use that with the Aspral. You can special cast it with either 2 Earth or 2 Frost. You can expend Earth in order to search your deck for a 1 cost that has Earth and Frost Elestral and add to your hand. So that's going to be most likely an Ascension, but again, we don't know yet. As of right now, we have no idea. That's my personal guess, that I think there is going to be an Ascension to this. It's obviously going to cost you those 2 spirits, but hopefully that effect is actually going to be something kind of cool. And there's a Hollow and Titan. Super cool. I never noticed the Spine Imp on there, and then you also got the Nimbuk. That's kind of cool. 11 attack, 8 defense. It is a 2 Earth, 1 Lunar. You can discard an insect card from your hand in order to target and destroy a card. Awesome. This effect can be activated up to 2 times in a turn. While there is an insect Elestral on the field, this Titan is unaffected by your opponent's Elestral's effects. So my first thought when I hear that, say you put a water on this, so that way you can go ahead and hit past Tsunami, Galaxy won't affect it. Eddie can't touch this. Your Kinleo, Nexus Fire to pop a card, pop an Elestral, can't be used on any Titan. We got ourselves Lycris, Cactivril, Cinder, Belleby, Snark, Starvit, Helios' Slumber, Doublegator, Theraheart, and 2 Airsdale. So this is Luxamare's Ascension. So 6/6, very decent stats, 2 cost. Solar. When you cast this Airsdale, you can foretell 3. You may special cast a 1 Spirit Lunar Solar Elestral foretold this way. So that's really cool. So Luxamare's effect, my opponent's going to go ahead and, or I'm going to give my opponent Luxamare because of Cunning Offer, play Airsdale, hopefully special cast something else, and then start swinging over my opponent. I also want to point out to you guys, when it says you can special cast a 1 cost Spirit Elestral, whatever the element is, that has to be the element printed on the card. You can misenchant it. I just want to throw that out there in case you guys had some special combos you were trying to do. You can misenchant those Elestrals when the effect is read that way. Electrify, Winjin, Carrion, Snowlet, Cockaray, Volumbra, Opossum, Werepup, and 2 Starvit Supernova. I love saying this guy's name, Supernova. So this is the title version of Starvit. Okay, it's not necessarily an Ascension. It's more him transforming. A good way to kind of think about this is your Power Rangers, guys. Anyone who grew up on Power Rangers, you know, it's Morphin Time, transform. So this is Starvit using his Morpher to go into his superhero form, or Supernova form. 7 attack, 2 defense. So remember, Cryoblast does destroy him. But a 1 cost, 7 attack is absolutely ridiculous. This Starvit cannot be normal cast. So that effect takes place in hand. So you cannot take this guy and misenchant him to get a 7 attack out. You have to, its effect automatically takes place. That being said, this could be kind of a fun option in a Frost Water deck. If you have Foamy, Foamy's effect lets you grab a Water Elestral and play it from your deck when it's destroyed. You can misenchant it at that point with Frost, and then Cryoblast won't hit it. When you special cast this Starvit from another Starvit's effect, it gains the effect. If this Starvit would be destroyed, you may Nexus all spirits from it. If you do draw a card, then it's destroyed. So the main way you're normally going to play this is you're going to have Starvit. It's going to have most likely 3 spirits on it. You're going to ascend it, which will add another spirit. So this guy will be a 7 attack with 4 spirits. If you have Atlantis on the field, it's going to be an 11/6, which is ridiculous. But if it does get destroyed, you can still save all the spirits, which is the best part, and then reuse those spirits. It doesn't have this other Elestrals on field, Atlantis, Poseidon, whatever. You can have a Trident of Poseidon on another Elestral, put all 4 spirits on it. At least you can use those spirits for something else. It's not a total loss at that point. I will say, we saw it in a recent tournament, the Water Reanimator deck. This guy is going to pop off a Water Reanimator. Mark my words. We got Illuminate. We are Armadon, Luxamare, First Quarter, Waning Gibbous, Final Quarter, Bandaloon, Ardvarum, Cetasaur, into New Moon. This is an invoke. This is, I think, it's only 2 or 3 rare lunar phases. This is one of them. Target an Elestral on the field and suppress it until the end phase. You may expend lunar and equal to the target's card's enchantment cost and discard a lunar phase if you do destroy it. So that's pretty cool. Give it a little side destruction. Suppress it and then destroy it here if you wanted to. We got ourselves an Halloween. Temple Moon. By the way, I didn't even reference this. The card stock is almost like Kickstarter, so these just slide right off. So if you guys are doing this, like you're doing openings for a video, you guys really don't have to worry about the cards pulling. No Stern Untone, Magnetic Force Field, Nobby, Fawnlet, Captive Brum, Boisterous, Electronite, into Tornado Gem. This is Winjian's Ascension. 8 attack, 2 defense, so yet another 2 cost that is weak to Cryoblast. Cryoblast is probably the best destruction card in the game right now. But it is a Wind Solar. You can expend Wind or Solar and search your deck for 3 cards with different names. If you do, add 1 at random to your hand, shuffle the rest into your deck. So that's really cool. You know, and it has to be different names, but so you can do Ambrosia Nog Shield, or Ambrosia Tsunami Shield, whatever. Then no matter what, you're going to be able to get 1 and put the rest back in deck and just use that every single turn. That's all, honestly, to me, that's even better. As long as you have this guy out, that's better than Nog. Like, again, you're only costing you 1, but then you're going to get like a 3 option. We got ourselves a Zaptor, No Stone Unturned, Magnetic Force Field, Nobby, Fawnlet, Boldusk, Volumbra, that's kind of cool that both of those together, Hit Possum, Werepup, into Posthumous. And you guys, you really can't see it right now because of the way the camera is, but yeah, the little heart right there glows. I don't know what that's a reference to. But 13 attack, 11 defense. Arguably one of the best stats in the game. The only stats that are that close, I think, is Centaur, which is 11-15. Like, this is insane stats. 3 cost lunar. When your Artemis suppresses the card, you can target and destroy that card. So remember, Artifice, any face-up card on the field can be suppressed, and that includes your Divines. When Artemis is enchanted, this Posthumous is unaffected by counter runes. So again, my opponent is going to be going ahead and constantly trying to destroy Artemis. That way they can pop this guy. But the fact that it's unaffected, that's basically just like Lost Spivey. So Tsunami's not going to work, Shield's not going to work, PTA, Gorgon's Gate is nothing. So this guy is literally a tank, and he's going to run over everything in front of him. We got ourselves a Lycanroc, Golumbat, Toxirri, Avacub, Drakid, Quackirath, Vandaloon, Aardvarn, Cedarsaur, into Ectopossum. 3 attack, 3 defense, so very weak for a 2-drop. 2 lunar. When this Ectopossum is sent from your hand or deck to the underworld, you can expend lunar in order to special cast it from your underworld with double lunar. The only real thing I'm seeing about this that'll be nice is that if you're trying to get a 3-drop out, you can go ahead and somehow toss it from your deck, play it back out, and the next turn ascend into it, or ascend into something else. That's the only real way I'm looking at that. Or even Ectopossum into Forkirath. That'll give Forkirath 3 spirits on it, which would make it so when it enters battle, your opponent's Elestrals are going to lose 6. We got Bellevy, Narc, Starvit, Electrofly, Winjin, High Tide, Borealis, Cunning Offer, into another Posthumous. You guys will see in a future video, we will be doing the Posthumous starter deck, and we will be going over it, the deck in its entirety. We have ourselves Halloween, Carrion, Snowlit, HEREEE, Armadon, Luxamare, Helios Slumber, Doublegator, Theraheart, and 2 Volclips. So this is Volumbra in Boldusk's Final Ascension. 6 attack, 12 defense. Again, a very dark card. Like, it doesn't look like it on camera, but in person it is very dark in hand. This Boldusk gets +1 attack for each different title among the lunar phases in your underworld. So at the most, it will get +8, which will bring it to a 14. You can shuffle 8 lunar phases with different titles from your underworld to your deck in order to return an opponent's field to their hand. So if my opponent has a full setup, send it all. Get it out of my way. The other thing I want to point out is I just noticed this. I didn't notice it before. When you have your subclasses, it is ethereal, which means Exaltus will search your Volclips. If you guys were doing a solar lunar package, you can use it to search for your Volclips, which actually is really cool. Sometimes it amazes me if you guys really look at the subclasses and see what all fits in those scenarios. But I think Galaxy is a ethereal subclass. So again, like if you're doing a Chronodile deck with water and solar, you can still do that too. And your Starbit and Supernova are both ethereals as well. Electrify, Windjin, Arion, Snowlit, Bow of Artemis, Lunar Phase, Waxing Gibbous, Waning Crescent into Like a Void. So this is Werepuff's Ascension form. 6 attack, 2 defense. Again, a card weak to Rhinoblast. This Like a Void deals piercing damage and is unaffected by counter rings if you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon this turn. I want to say that again slower. It deals piercing damage and is unaffected by counter runes when you cast Lunar Phase Full Moon this turn. There is no period there. So there was confusion when this card first got announced. They're like, oh, it does piercing damage, and then if you also play this, it's unaffected by counter runes. That's only on the turn. Both of those effects apply with Full Moon. So if you don't play Full Moon this turn, it's basically a 6 attack body with no effect. So be careful when you play that. That will be a huge misstep that can cost you a mattress. Alright, we got ourselves a Flormine. We got ourselves a Cockeray, Armadon, Luxomare, First Quarter. We got Waning Gibbous, High Tide, Aurora Borealis, Cunning Offer, into a Corvus Skull. This is Corvus Shine's Nexus form. 2 attack, 4 defense. When this Corvus Skull receives 1 or more lunar, you can foretell 3 and exchange a foretell card with a card in your underworld. The new card becomes foretold. So for me, I'm always thinking of Sonicore, because Sonicore always gets out. I can foretell 3. Say the foretell 3 is Luxomare, Theraheart, and Electrify. Awesome. I'm going to take my Theraheart, ditch to the underworld, switch that with the Sonicore, and now I'll have Luxomare, Sonicore, Electrify. And I can put them in any order I want. You can do that with counter runes, invoke runes. You can do that with Earthquake, guys. Use Earthquake that turn, go ahead, summon a Corvus Skull, now I can grab Earthquake back and play it again. There have been so many limits in this game to 1 or 2, you know what I mean, especially say like Viscerus is another one. You have Viscerus that got destroyed, use Corvus Skull, get it back. What's an underworld? We got Final Quarter, Temple of the Moon, No Stern Unturned, Magnet Force Field, Navi, Helios' Slumber, Double Gator, Theraheart, into Cryptoris. 2 attack, 4 defense. Another foretelling card, by the way. This Cryptoris gets +2 attack for each time you foretold this turn. You can expend a lunar in order to foretell 3 and add any number of lunar Elestrals that cost at least 2 spirits foretold this way to your hand. So that's kind of cool. You can use Cryptoris, foretell, grab Theraheart. And it's how many times you foretold this turn, so you can use Cryptoris' effect, and then you go ahead and play even Corvus Skull or Apollo, whatever you're going to do, and you just keep foretelling and buffing that attack up. That's honestly a card you're not really going to see me play at all. The effect's alright, able to grab a card, but a normal 2 attack just doesn't feel good. There's a lot going on for just a 2 attack. We got Luxomare, we got First Quarter, Waning Gibbous, Final Quarter, Temple of the Moon, Bow of Artemis, Waxing Gibbous, Waning Crescent, this is a very dark pack, and we have Joblin. We got ourselves a Lycoris, No Stone Unturned, Magnetic Force Field, Navi, Fawnlet, Voldas, Tsunami High Tide, Aurora Borealis, Cunning Offer, into Oistillery. We just got our hands on Distillery with Shadow Source Capricorn, but it is a 4 attack, 8 defense. This is Oyster's Ascension, 2 cost water. When this Distillery in your hand can special effect from your Oysterous if you also disenchant water from your field. So literally the turn you play Oysterous, you can disenchant water off field to play this guy. You can discard a water card in order to target and destroy a card. So it can be any water card, but you're going to go ahead and pop an opponent's card. I just want to set this for you guys. This is going to be a new card for Water Reanimator. You got to discard a water card, right? You're going to go ahead and ditch your Supernova. You're going to ditch Supernova, and then you're going to go play Rise from the Ashes or Rise from the Depths to bring this guy back. And then you'll have an 8 defense and a 7 attack on field at the same time. I'm telling you, Water Reanimator is going to be absolutely insane. Shout out to Soren Plays, he actually took it to the last tournament, top 8. I think it was, what, 80 people? Top 8 or 90 people, top 8? Man's getting it. Gloombat, Toxierie, Havocup, Drakid, Corcurate, Helios Slumber, Double Gator, Theraheart into Necrolith. Finally, this is the very last lift. There's Aviolith was also released in this set, but it's a 7 attack, 3 defense. So already it's the highest attack of all the lifts. This Necrolith can be normal cast with 2 Lunar if your opponent has at least 2 suppressed cards. So Dense Fog would be the Elestral side of it, but then if you're able to suppress the runes, so the only real way to do that would be double Artemis, which would kind of feel bad at that point. When you cast this Necrolith, you can destroy a suppressed Elestral. So only when it's cast, so you could also play Gorgon's Gaze and then play this card. This isn't the weakest lift because of its attack stat, but this isn't one that, again, I'm going to use that often. Unless there's a combo I'm completely missing. There's just not many cards that suppress multiple, you know what I mean? Like Dense Fog, like I said, but I think Dracodoodle, Expend Wind to suppress all Elestrals on field, so I mean, comboing with that somehow would work out. Porcurace, Hardbud, Colovi, Capricorn, Cinder, Bow of Artemis, Waxing Gibbous, Waning Crescent, into Hurricane. So, right off the bat, I'll say the OTP 2-pack Hurricane is so much cooler. It has Winjin on it. But it's one of the very first cards in the game that costs you 3 different spirits. So it's Wind, Thunder, Water. It's an Invoke rune. Destroy all face-down runes. So, this card came out because of the current meta, and the meta how it's always been. Set a full back row, Celestial Pass. This now is going to hurt your opponent if they decide they're going to load the backfield up. But remember, it also destroys your roots. So play this when you don't have much in the back row. Sit on this. If you draw this first turn, sit on it. If they play 4 face downs first turn, then you can Hurricane. This is going to hurt late game because of the cost of spirits. But at the beginning to mid game, this card's going to pop off. It's going to cause so much damage. We got ourselves a Tyralis. We got ourselves First Quarter, Waxing Gibbous, Final Quarter, Temple of the Moon, No Stone Unturned, Volumbra, Hippossum, Werepup into an Ectopossum. A few more packs here, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're actually missing 3 holo hits. And we pull a Stellar, or Reverse Stellar, I'll take it. Whichever we can pull, I'll be happy. Magnet of the Force Field, Nobby, Vomit, Voldusk, Bluebat, Bandaloon, Hardvarm, Cedarsaur, into Phasmacore. This is Gloombat's Ascension, this is Sonic Core, and Nova Core's Nexus form. 8 attack, 1 defense. Another card hit by Cryoblast, ladies and gentlemen. When this Phasmacore is destroyed in battle, or by opponent's card effect, you can expend 1 Lunar. If you do during this turn's end phase, you can special cast it from the Underworld. So that part's kind of cool. It automatically brings it back, but in that scenario, it's going to cost you 3. It's going to cost you 5. It's going to cost you 2 to play it. It gets destroyed. You're going to pay 1 to expend it, 2 more to bring it back. So make sure you have a lot of healing going on. Don't just keep bringing it back, because then you're going to have no spirits left and you will lose the game. But this is kind of cool to have that you know you're going to have a big boy out on field. And again, play this and play Posture Boost next turn or something, you'll be set. You'll be ready to go. Alright, we got ourselves a Leviathan, Toxiri, Havacub, Drakid, Porky Wraith, Arbud, Captive Brum, Boisterous, Electro Knight, into Night Venom. Yeah, Night Venom's not bad. The fact that you have to discard a Dense Fog, at least you get your pop in 2. But again, you can only have 3 per deck, so if they ever make a title Dense Fog, then that card's really going to be a lot of fun. Cinder, Bellaby, Snark, Titanic Strike, Asprow, Draco Ray into a Pulver. We got 5 more packs for you guys. Hopefully, we pull that stellar. Let's go Loon. We got Fomnit, we got Baldusk, Loonbat, Toxiri, Havacub, Lumbra, Possum, Werepup into a Drakking. I love Drakking. Drakking is really cool. When it destroys an Elestral in battle, you actually take control of that Elestral, enchanting it with Water or Lunar, which really works out well. Say if it destroys an Eddy, then you can play it with the correct spirit and then also use its effect right off the bat. And your opponent cannot attack that Drakking as long as one of those Elestrals is on the field that you brought back. Ardrum, Cedosaur into a Salashade. The meaning of mill, guys. This is going to be the center of almost every mill deck that comes out. 3 attack, 3 defense, which isn't the best for a 2-drop, but it doesn't need to be. This Salashade gets +1 attack for each Elestral in your opponent's Underworlds. So, in your opponent's Underworld. So, eventually, or if you do decide you're going to do a 2v2, triple threat, however you're going to play, for every Elestral in your opponent's Underworlds, multiple Underworlds, it's going to get +1 attack. When a player casts an Elestral, your opponent must send the top 3 cards of the deck to the Underworld. So, we did get confirmation that when you play Salashade and you cast it, that effect activates because it's now on field. It is being cast. You can use that effect. That card's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Again, mix that with all the other mill cards. It's going to be nuts, guys. We got ourselves a Vipyro. We got a Cinder, Bellaby, Snark, Starvit, Electrofly, Cactobrum, Boisterous, Electro Knight into Infornix. 4/7, Fire Wind. This is Bellaby's Ascension. You can expend Wind in order to return an opponent's card to their hand. When you cast an Celestial or Rune with at least Fire or Wind, you can give this Infornix +2 attack until the end phase. So for that effect, it'll bump up to a 6, but at the same time, expend a Wind to send something back. Again, I always say Penterror. I know it seems like I'm obsessed, but it's the highest attack stat in the game. Play Infornix, expend a Wind to send it back to the hand. And now I should have a clear board to hit over. Alright, we got ourselves a Leviathan, a Winjin, Carrion, Snowlit, Cockaray, Armadon, Titanostrike, Asprow, Draco Ray into Comalis. Comalis being a holo is actually really slick. When you can Nexus up the 2 Lunar, so this is Lunar's Nexus, main Nexus bank, Nexus effect I should say. When you do, you can search your deck for a Spectral Elestral and add it to your hand. I don't have a full list of Spectral Elestrals. The main one I'm thinking of is Farrageist and Specterus. So this one, and now the future Farrageist deck, the new Farrageist deck, this card's going to pop off. And last pack, ladies and gentlemen. Can we go ahead and do the thing? Can we do the thing? We got ourselves a Footer Mine. We have a Fawnland, a Baldusk, Gloombat, Toxiri, Havacub, Vandaloon, Hardbarn, Cedosaur, Stellar Cryptor. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This video's gonna pop off. Hey, you better hit that like button, everybody. Holy crap. This is number 58 out of 99. Where's the other Cryptor? That is sick. Zoom in on that guy. So you really can't see it on screen. Oh my god. You can't really see it on screen. If you pause the video you might, but the artwork on their backs is different. This one is a Volclifs. I honestly don't know what this one is. It almost looks like it might be a Fulgorix. I can't tell. Guys, we just put a serialized stellar for a YouTube video. Shut the hell up. That is awesome. You guys need to go ahead. We need to get this video popping off. You guys need to like this video, comment down below. This is freaking nuts. I am so excited. Is that a double holo? I don't think so. And it's spectral, so your Comal's was shit. Can we pop off and get a X out of 10 too? Because we still have this little bad boy. 3, 2, 1. Fulgorix is not a stellar though. But guys, we pulled a serialized stellar on our video. Shut up. My name is Stellar Crystal. I hope you guys all have a stellar day.
Elestrals, guardians of the land, unleashing thunder, fire, water, wind.